Today I'm joined by April Dunnam. She is a Power Platform developer advocate at Microsoft, a speaker, a blogger, and an all-around Power Apps queen. And you need to check out her YouTube channel. She's got a huge following, and without her YouTube channel, I'd be lost. So, April, thank you for joining me today.
So happy to be here. Thanks for that awesome introduction.
So for those who don't know you or haven't met you, share a bit about your background, where you're from, who you are, and what you do.
Yeah, so as you just said, I'm a Power Platform developer advocate at Microsoft. I've been in this particular role about 2 months now, so pretty new to this role. Before that, though, I was at Microsoft on our partner side of things. So I was a partner technical architect working with our modern workplace partners, trying to help them build Power Platform practices. So thankfully, both of my Microsoft jobs that I've had here are remote jobs, so I can work from the comfort of my home here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So that's pretty nice, not have to relocate or anything. Yeah, so I just kind of had an interesting journey, I guess, to Microsoft. Kind of starting off, I was doing my own consulting company for a while. So did a lot of Power Platform, modern workplace type stuff. SharePoint implementations is kind of where I got my start in the SharePoint space inside of things. And kind of funny story how that all came about too. I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do in college. I knew that I liked technology, and I always did things on the side where I would make websites, and that kind of helped pay my way through college, kind of do a lot of WordPress work and just always liked that type of thing. But I didn't know if I really wanted to do that for sure for a career. So I kind of thought I was going to go into political science for a while, and I went down that path. And then I switched to marketing. And I ended up double majoring in marketing. But then I finally realized, well, I'm pretty good at this computer stuff and I like it. So I went for my MIS degree. So I double majored in that and marketing, kind of stuck with that. And I happened to have an internship at a casino here, a Cherokee casino. And I got to rotate their different departments in IT because I was still trying to figure out, like, specifically within IT, what did I want to do? Happened to land in the application development department there. And that's where I fell in love. They were in the middle of this big SharePoint 2007 implementation. That's where they needed the help. So they gave me a Head First in C# book, which I have right back there behind me still, and a Learning SharePoint 2007 dev book, and said, learn it and help us roll this out and build solutions. And I kind of stuck with it ever since.
Wow, that's interesting. So would you recommend an internship like that where you get a chance to rotate through different areas?
Definitely. I mean, that was invaluable for me. If you're not exactly sure what you want to do, the experience to see, okay, well, here's what, I got to program slot machines, which is pretty awesome. I mean, that was that was really fun. So getting to see, okay, well, this is what the infrastructure side of things does. This is what the help desk does. Can really just gives you that well-rounded experience to know actually on the job what you would be doing on a day-to-day in each of those different positions and areas, so that you can figure out what you love best.
That's pretty cool. So then, I mean, so SharePoint, actually, there was an interesting conversation on Twitter today about, where did the SharePoint community go? And it seems to be the SharePoint community's morphed, I think, mostly into the Power Platform community. Is that how you got into Power Apps and Power Platform? What kind of drove you in that direction?
Yeah, definitely. So, in the SharePoint space, I was doing, a lot of C# development. So a lot of before, the cloud and all of that, doing a lot of on-prem installs, master pages, custom branding, custom web parts, all of that really more devy stuff. But then also the business app side of things. So I was doing a lot of InfoPath, a ton of SharePoint designer workflows and all of that. So obviously we shifted my consulting business to the cloud and all of that. And as soon as I heard about this Project Sienna thing, which ended up being Power Apps, I wanted to get my hands on it because I was so sick of InfoPath. If I had to build another InfoPath form, I would go crazy. So I wanted to find something that was a good solution to replace it. So yeah, I just went headfirst into that and Power Automate to replace my SharePoint designer workflows, and stuck with it ever since. So it's definitely a natural kind of path to go if you're from a SharePoint background, especially building those InfoPath and SharePoint designer type solutions to migrate to the Power Platform.
Wow. Yeah, I won't even tell you how large my backlog is of InfoPath forms that have to be converted. It'll get there eventually.
I can imagine.
So you've been around the block a bit. SharePoint 2007, at least, right? So what's and you've been a couple places. What's something about the way we do things in IT that you would change? If somebody came to you, April, and said, April, today you get to make the big decision, what's something you would consider?
I mean, you know, as a woman, I just really would love to see that inclusiveness story continue to evolve. I mean, it's come a long way since when I was starting off, you know, graduating in 2008. And, you know, I was the only woman in my IT classes. I was the only woman in the companies I was working for in IT for many, many years. And, you know, coming here to Microsoft, especially, obviously, I'm much more women and more inclusiveness as far as that goes. But I still feel like we have a long way to go, you know, and in the IT world. It's still sometimes some areas you'll go in, it feels very much like a good old boys club at times. And I would like to see that stigma, you know, completely ended and just make it to where women feel included and welcome into the IT field.
I think we have a long way to go. My daughter's a senior in high school, and she goes to her IT class, and there's two other girls in the entire IT program. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like as much as you think we've come along, we still realize that there's so much more to go, which is just, it's always been a mystery to me. It was like there would be no IT industry without women. You know, if you look at the history of it, so this is why it is the way it is. It's just is really baffling, and I want it to change so much.
Yeah, I agree. So where do you see yourself going, or where do you see the Power Platform going? The work that you're doing for Microsoft and trying to advocate the usage of this platform. Where are we headed?
I am super excited about, you know, where the Power Platform is going. I think this really is going to be the future and the technology that we use to build apps, the primary technology. I mean, if I'm sure anyone that's went to a Power Platform talk at any of the big conferences, you've heard about the need for applications and how there's going to be 500 million new apps built in the next few years, more than all the applications built so far. And there's a shortage of people right now that can build those apps. And the only way that we're going to fill that gap is by getting low code technology into people's hands so that they can build those applications and meet that need. And that's where the Power Platform is going to continue to shine. And I'm just really passionate and so happy that I get to be in the job I am now, where I can upskill and help bring more people into the Power Platform and see how powerful it is and how anyone, no matter where you're starting from, can be a developer with the Power Platform.
Well, that's a great message. And I think you're right. I think Power Platform's got a lot to offer. I think the work that you do with your YouTube channel is helping move that forward, and so we appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on my podcast today, April. It's great to talk to you every single time I have a chance.
Yeah, great to catch up with you again. Thanks so much for having me.